I'm Reynolds with Allie's Organics. This is Jupiter. He's been our helper today. We're going to teach you how to grow beefsteak tomatoes. This is one that got planted a couple of weeks ago. Okay, we're going to need some kelp meal tea, and the way that you make that is with 1/4 cup of kelp meal with a gallon of water, and you're just going to shake it for a couple of days. You're just going to do it a couple of times a day. Just shake that and let it steep. We're going to need some garden dust, and we're going to need just a good all-purpose, well-balanced fertilizer. Well-balanced being all three numbers are on there. And we're going to need some twine or some jute or something like that to tie up our tomatoes. We're going to want to prune this guy, this beefsteak tomato. He's already doing his pruning here. The way you tell where to prune, this is a sucker. It grows between the main stem and a leaf, and we're just going to snap that off. And there's a bunch of them coming on right here. Then we're going to want to get rid of those. I'm trellising, that's the way I like to do them. And because I'm trellising, I'm not going to want as much foliage. Suckers they're basically suck the life out of the tomato. And if you want a really nice big tomato, then you need to get rid of the suckers. And also, it's just kind of a control to where I don't have so much growth. And then I can kind of, it makes it a little bit easier to pick your tomatoes. It makes it easier to know where to stake them up at. And I'm just going to start securing him to this trellis right here. Just tie him up, and as he continues to grow up this, I will continue to remove suckers. You have to be really diligent though. You're going to be in your garden getting rid of these suckers every couple of days, or they're going to get out of control on you really fast in the middle of summer while they're growing fast. We're going to want to fertilize the beefsteak tomato every 3 weeks, so we're going to make a little trench around it about 6 inches out from the trunk. Add just a couple of tablespoons of your fertilizer. Work it in all the way around that guy. Cover it. And then another thing that we're going to want to be doing is if we've got a problem with bugs or anything like that, we can dust the plant, or we can spray it with some neem oil if we've got problems with a beet leaf hopper, which causes the curly leaf. Or if you've got problems with your tomato hornworm, then you can spray it with some BT, some Bacillus thuringius, and just lightly dust it, or a lot. That'll take care of a lot of the bugs that might be causing you grief with as far as your tomato hornworms or any of your caterpillar type. Now, one thing when you're doing your pruning is you don't want to take off too much foliage if you're in a really, really hot area, because it tends to dry the plant out a little bit more, and then you also get some sun scald on there. So you're going to not want to take off too much of the foliage, especially on the south side. Maybe leave a little bit more on that side. With your kelp meal tea, you can also just drench the plant itself. It gives it some iron, so if you're lacking in some iron, and it also gives it some minerals, and it's also a little bit of a bug repellent too, so it's kind of a nice thing to have and to do every couple of weeks or so. Kelp meal tea also helps with stress of plants. If you've got a plant that's stressed out, this will help it live through the stress a little bit better. Anyways, that's growing beefsteak tomatoes. That's all there is to it.